Thank you. Okay, well, we're back on track here for our last question to Randy McClement. Frederick County government is poised for big change next year when it holds its first election under charter home rule. Please give us your reflections on this, as well as the significance for the city as the largest municipality.
Thank you. I think the Frederick County government has seen the light. They've seen how the city of Frederick works with an administrator and elected officials. And I think they just decided this is the best way to work. I think it's going to work well. I think it's going to be a lot of bugs in the beginning. Anything new has to be worked out. One of the things I did like in the legislation was that there would be a review period to make sure those items that may not have worked out in what they had planned them to do are washed out and fixed at a certain time period, not just left go forever. We work well with the county, but that fluxes back and forth. Basically depends on who's in the current setup, who's in those seats. Having one person, the county executive, to be able to talk to on a regular basis to try to help move things forward, I think is going to be a positive for not just the city of Frederick, but all municipalities in the county. I think there were some challenges with the way that works in the past, but I think the new setup is going to be a lot more efficient. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this works, and I, as the mayor of the city of Frederick, will lend any hand that we can to help the new administration set up in the county to get forward and get into place.
1 minute.
Well, I think we should have a city day for the new county elected officials. They can shadow the mayor and the Board of Aldermen and understand the new role that they find themselves. The Board of County Commissioners currently have legislative and executive authority. That's going away. We're going to have just a legislative branch, which I think will be nice. Because when you're negotiating with the county, it is tough. They change their mood. There's no one single advocate for initiatives. Using the city as an example on the Potomac River Water Agreement, I know that Randy agrees with me that the availability charge that was included in the contract is not fair to city residents. Maybe we can open that conversation up with the executive and then have an advocate for city residents. It'll be interesting. The city operates pretty well on its own, but not only do I want to have a conversation with the executive and the legislative branch on the county side, they have to see the impact, and maybe having direct advocates on the legislative side in the county for the city, we will have the opportunity to talk about that level of fairness on tax differential, where my tax bill for the city is probably about $1,000 too high because the county doesn't provide any public works in the city. The county doesn't plow snow in the city, and we really don't get much out of the General Administration Office. So anyway, I want you to think about that, because those are conversations of Shadow Your Mayor Day that you all tag along.
Karen Young, for 1 minute.
I have mixed feelings about the differences we'll see with the county executive versus a president. If you have a president that has 2 other votes, essentially that individual has the power of a county executive. So I'm not so sure how much that'll change. We will have greater representation, though, by having more members. I think the biggest difference is in Annapolis. We will now, as a county, have a seat at the table. There is an ongoing meeting of county executives with the governor. We are not at that table now, and that is critical. That's the most important difference I see. Whoever that group is, I will work with them. That is a pledge. There's another pledge I have, and that is along the lines of my predecessor's comments, and that is making tax duplication the biggest issue from the perspective of the city. There are 21 departments and functions that are duplicated between the city and the county, yet city residents are only reimbursed for a portion of 4 of them. That's why you all have difficulty selling homes in the city of Frederick. The formula is 30 years old. It is not equitable. That needs to be changed, and I'm ready to put the pressure